Hi. Okay, so this is the really fun topic of how to know where 70% of a conversation is going to go in most settings, social or career or whatever, and how to have a great answer to 70% of what's going to be talked about. First one's actually a no-brainer. Just think it through in advance. If you're only going to be talking to someone, 15 minutes or less at anything, at a career networking event, at like a social mixer, I mean, just like a social event, barbecue, whatever, people are hanging out, maybe going to a new church because you just moved to the area, meeting new colleagues, new job, whatever. In these new settings, very few people are going to try and talk to you for like an hour. You really only have to anticipate what's going to be said for 15, maybe 30 minutes. So you're at a career networking event. People are going to ask you about your career, your prior career, your current activities at your job, maybe where you went to college, that kind of thing. 40% of the conversation is just these generic questions almost everyone's going to ask you. Okay, maybe throw in something about the weather, maybe current events or sports teams, maybe have a ready answer to those types of questions. So that gets you 50% now. How do you get that next 20% and know what to do and say? Well, that's also easy. You know the questions you're planning to ask. You plan to ask other people questions that if they were to flip it to you, you feel like you have a solid, intelligent answer to. If you're at a career networking event, it shows off your career skills. Socially speaking, it shows off your social skills. Um, so if you ask them and they go off talking about it, you can always join in intelligently because you now have a lot in common with this person in a similar field or fun activity. Or if they say, I'm nothing, I don't know. What about you? You have something to say. So for example, I'm at a career networking event and I am planning to go to the next two events because I really like the speakers that are coming up. Okay. I might say, have you been to other events like this? Are there any you're planning to go to? Because I'm someone who goes to these events a lot. So they might talk about past ones. I know how to talk about those. I remember those speakers. Or they might be like, oh, I didn't even know there was another event coming up. Oh yeah, there's two coming up in the next 2 quarters. And these are the speakers. I'm planning to at least go to this one, because I've read their book or I can see how that might apply to my job. You're someone who has a lot to say. You're someone who just taught them something. Um, you know where that conversation's going to go because you just planned it and you planned it to your strengths. There will be times when you'll ask people questions and they'll say, I don't know. And that's it. They won't flip it back to you. That's okay. You pull out the next one in your pocket, about the weather or sports team or whatever. And if that person just never flips the conversation back to you, then you at least ask them 2 to 3 nice questions and you can politely smile, say you hope to loop up with them in a little bit. You're going to go get refreshments or check in with someone or whatever. And maybe you still really like them. Maybe they were just a shy person and you could tell they're amazing, just shy, and you actually still want to get to know them. That's fine. But now you can walk away and you didn't have an awkward silence. They got to know about you. Just a tip. Thanks. Bye.